Hey, what is up guys and girls, my name is Griefdrums and today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of different things that have been leaked. I don't really want to spend too long talking about the leaks themselves. Instead, what I kind of want to do is I want to take a look at what's been leaked and what potentially could be coming to the game if it's true, and then look at a way that I think will be a little bit better to increase the longevity of the game and give players an aspect of the game that I think a lot of people want. So if you spend any time on Reddit or 4chan or even the Rainbow Six Siege forums, you probably will have heard that zombies is coming to Rainbow Six, potentially. Now, I genuinely, I don't want to say they're not doing it, I just want to say that I don't think they are doing it. And the more I look at the leaks, the more it starts to worry me a little bit. I really like zombies on COD. I think it's an entertaining game mode, and you know, when you're with a group of friends, it's really good. How it would work in this game, I don't really know. And as I said, I don't want to rule it out completely and say that it's not going to come and it's not going to be here, because the dude got the operation name right. Now, a lot of you might say, well, hang on a minute, he may have just caught wind of that. I mean, we are very close to this operation now. Maybe he's just got a little bit of information on it. Okay, yeah, alright, we'll look away from that. He also got the name right of Zofia, or Zoe at the very least. So then you start looking and say, well, hang on a minute, we kind of knew that from Ella. So although all of this information so far is looking like it's going to be correct, it's still not set in stone whether it is true or not. Then you go a little bit further into it. Now, this is where it changed for me. He goes on to talk about the attackers and defenders gadgets. He discusses the Polish attacker's gadget, and it says ability stun/grenade launcher. Now, this wasn't confirmed at all. You know, there's no way that we could have known whether this was true or not, so I took everything with a pinch of salt and didn't make a video about this when it was first posted. Then this image showed up. Now, we've had this before where a single country has posted this onto their Twitter feed or Facebook or something along the lines of it being a little bit too early, and the rest of the company doesn't seem to be on the same page. It's almost as if one place has accidentally put the image up. I think it might just be to build hype amongst the community. But besides the point, it shows on here some form of gadget for the Polish operator, as you can see from this bit here, and it looks as if it's a grenade launcher. It looks kind of like Ash's grenade launcher or breaching round launcher. But if you look closely, it has two separate symbols, which look like they could correspond to a stun and grenade launcher. Maybe like Capital's fire bolts and smoke bolts. They could be interchangeable, and it looks like a pretty nice idea and a cool addition to the game. But obviously the addition of this kind of backs up everything else that has been said on this leak. It sort of affirms everything that he's already said. So with that in mind, if you continue looking down the rest of the leaks, it explains that there's two new Mexican operators. Now, it looks as though these are only going to be available for the zombie and alien situation. I don't really understand why this game would have zombies and aliens. They have hazmat suits, and they both have independent abilities. One has 2 charges, temporary heal of 40, recoil reduction, and a speed buff, and the other one has wall hacks. So as you can see, like, the first time I read that, I thought there is no way this is true. This is just not gonna happen. I just did not believe it. But the closer we get to Operation White Noise, the more accurate this is looking. The point of this video is that whilst zombies may fit into the game for some of you, I mean, we've practically got a zombies mode in Terrorist Hunt as it is. If you play Defend the Hostage, you get wave after wave of attackers, and the AI is that dumb and that thick that they are practically zombies. It's practically zombie mode. You always get that one straggler who stood outside and not really doing anything. You always get a couple of guys facing the complete wrong way after you shot all of their teammates. Do we really need another mode like that? I personally think that AI isn't quite there, and I think that a better direction to go for a tactical realistic shooter would be some proper campaign missions. Right, I want to see a show of hands for everyone that either expected a campaign or would like to see a campaign in this game. There we go. With the multitude of operators available to us, and with the various gadgets that are available, I would love to see a COD-style campaign in which you play as specific operators out on missions. Now, as the game has gone on, more and more lore and backstories have been created. A perfect example is, I believe it was Ying, when Ying first came out. The devs put in this whole backstory about how Ying and Fuse had fallen out, presumably over Fuse trying to blow up the hostage with his cluster grenades. Further to that, if you read into Legion's operator bio on or his blog that the Rainbow Six devs posted, they go on to talk about Operation Green Viper, and it's about, you know, he had to try and get a Malaysian physicist's laptop, and he went on this mission with 2 SAS operators, codenamed Smoke and Thatcher. They had to infiltrate the laboratory, neutralize every trace of the substance, and that was his first successful mission. So to be able to play those out in a campaign would be incredible. And it would provide the ability for continuous DLC as well, because as new operators come out, you could potentially have new missions. And this is something that was massively lacking in the game for me. With all of the operators using unique guns and unique gadgets, having campaign missions in which you could utilize those in a certain way, obviously not wherever you choose, but, you know, potentially in set places, I don't know. But this could also be a really good way to teach newer players how each gadget works, and how each operator works, and what you're supposed to do with them. It'll be really interesting to see if what the devs believe you should be doing with an operator differs from the way they actually get used in multiplayer. With metas constantly changing, I wonder if the devs saw the mirror getting placed on a single wall with a soft wall next to it so you can pre-fire before you move out of cover. I wonder if they saw Ella's traps getting just put above doorways so that it blocks anyone coming through that doorway, or did they have another vision for it? If they did, is it one that the community hasn't even seen yet? I just think it'd be a really interesting addition. Now, I don't dislike Rainbow. I love Rainbow. I've put 2 years of my life into this game, and I've built my YouTube channel on Rainbow Six. But when I first bought it, I really bought it for the similar sort of gameplay to 6 Vegas, you know, or Vegas 2. I wanted that campaign. I wanted the terrorist hunt grind. I wanted to, you know, slowly unlock stuff, and none of that was in the game. Now, a good way to implement all of that into the game would be to have this campaign mode. I'm well aware that a lot of you are going to say the devs will never do it, it's not going to happen, and no, it's not. This is just wishful thinking on my part, but it's more a way for me to vent as well. If Zombies comes out, there's no doubt I'm going to play it, there's no doubt I'm going to have a good time playing it. I just kind of feel that if Zombies does come out, there are better ways that they could have handled it, and there are, you know, it's a bit of a poor judgment decision. This game was sold as a tactical, realistic shooter, and it's just starting to move away from that more and more these days. Does that mean the game's terrible? No, it doesn't. The game is still incredible, but I just want a campaign. The possibilities are literally endless. I mean, you know, Ying's relationship with Echo could be portrayed in cutscenes. It's got all about that mission where she fell out with Fuse and then Ash resolved the situation. You know, all of that kind of stuff could be implemented into the game. Ella's whole backstory, especially with the addition of potentially her sister in the coming season, that could be explored. I don't know, maybe I'm just going off on a wild tangent here, but what do you guys think? Is this something that you think would be really cool in the game? Is this something that you think you would like to see, or are you just, you don't really care, you're happy with Zombies and you're just going to play whatever they give you? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, guys, stay reckless and relentless.